Yeah, I just wanted to come on this jump. And Leo, how could you man, I seen this interview, man. How could you possibly part your lips and laugh about me challenging Terence Crawford? Because when I challenged you, you ain't one. You. Hey, we could have been for. But nothing transpired. Earl the only one that's fighting the real dogs. You know what I'm saying? Terence, what's up? What's up, man? And Devin Haney. Oh my goodness. Everybody, check my resume. Everybody I've been calling out has been the best. Or whoever y'all so-called think is the best.
What's going on, you guys? So, Gary Russell Jr. is still out here coming out with videos, talking to the media, talking to anybody that'll listen, that he sent an offer out to Terence Crawford from Al Haymon for a fight. Now, Gary Russell Jr. is a featherweight, right? If I'm not mistaken, he's a featherweight. He's like 5'3". I mean, do we really want to see that? I mean, it seemed like a lot of boxing fans would rather want to see Gary Russell Jr. get slaughtered by Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford is a fight. It's a lose-lose situation for him. He go in there and beat up little Gary. He was supposed to do it. If you go up in there and Gary give him a little bit of work, well, then you got, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lose-lose situation for Terence Crawford. Gary Russell Jr. has nothing to offer Terence Crawford. He's nowhere near his weight class. It's not a big money fight. There's nothing for Terence Crawford to gain for fighting a guy like Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. may have been the man in the amateurs, but this is the pros now, and Terence Crawford is the man. You know what I'm saying? Why would he look down to fight Gary Russell Jr.? I can't believe boxing fans out here actually is feeding into this bullshit, this clout chase. Because just a couple of weeks ago, he just got proven to be a liar, and they came out here and he started looking like a sucker. He's looking more and more like a sucker every fucking day. And everybody fucks with Gary Russell. I fucks with Gary Russell. But he's looking more and more like a sucker every day. You know what I'm saying? He told people, why don't you go ahead and ask Mark Johnson, you know what I'm saying, the Dynamite guy. Ask them. They asked them, and these dudes' story aligned with what Terence Crawford and them people were saying. So, and then he came out here talking about don't talk to me and all that, all mad and shit. But motherfuckers still co-sign. Why? Because people just hate Terence Crawford. And this is good for Bud Crawford, because people needed a reason for them to really talk about Bud Crawford. Because before, he was just that guy that was just running through everybody. You know what I'm saying? We knew he had the skills. We knew this, that, and third. But he was the quiet guy. You know, he needed this. He needs shit like this. But come on, people. Gary Russell Jr., are we really going to keep continuing to feed into this bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like, to me, like this is a whole ploy by PBC to really clout chase off Crawford's name. And then next thing you know, they got a date already lined up and they going in a whole nother route. You know what I'm saying? Ugas, I want to fight Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, he's fighting this Albert Ramos guy. Sean Porter, you heard about that. Next thing you know, he's fighting Sebastian Formella. What's next? Keith Thurman, he's out here. Now he about to be fighting somebody. You hear he got a date already. So it looks to me like a lot of these dudes is clout chasing off of Bud's name. You know what I'm saying? And that's just really what it is. You know what I'm saying? Gary Russell Jr., there's no way in hell. You know what I'm saying? He's very inactive. You know what I'm saying? He barely fighting as it is. He's already, 32 years old. He's a little guy at 32 years old. He don't fight that much. It wouldn't even be competitive. It wouldn't even be remotely competitive. Actually, they probably wouldn't even sanction that fight. Who will approve that on television? Who will actually approve of that type of fight? You know what I'm saying? Who will actually approve of that? They got networks disapproving fights all the time. That they want to prove this fucking fight. Come on, man. Boxing fans is so caught up into the bullshit that they lost track of reality. They won't even sanction this type of fight, and motherfuckers really feeding into this. This Gary Russell bullshit. He turned to the biggest clout chaser in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Hands down. He turned to the biggest clout chaser. The dude looking out here starting to look really, really desperate. He's looking all the way up to, like, bro, you really clout chasing off Bud's name. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really believes you. Nobody really believes that you have a chance. Except for the guys that just hate Terence Crawford for whatever reason. Oh, I just want to see Bud fight anybody. Yeah, and he goes out there and beats the fuck out of Gary Russell Jr. And then you going to be downplaying it. Oh, well, Gary Russell Jr. was a little guy anyway. He ain't following you. And all this other bullshit. He has nothing to gain for even dealing with Gary Russell Jr. Keith Thurman, that's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? Box fans is just ridiculous these days, but this is the shit that's keeping this shit moving. These storylines, this little bullshit with Gary Russell Jr. coming out talking about Terence Crawford got no nuts. I sent a contract out. You also sent the contract out to Devin Haney and them, and they said you was asking for too much fucking money. So what happened with that? Why you ain't gonna pursue that fight? I got closer to your weight range. You know what I'm saying? What about Lomachenko? You still got those problems. So if you can't even beat a Lomachenko, how you gonna beat a fucking Terence Crawford, bro? It's a fucking clout chase. Like and subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.